Title, One More Chance. I never thought I would see him again, much less in the hallway, on the 17th floor. Just as the elevator was closing and our eyes met. 6 years had passed. 2 moves. A painful breakup and an attempt at forgetting. And yet, there was Nathan Hart, with the same confident gait, with the same perfume that broke me down more times than I'd like to admit. Ava, he said, with a voice that I heard so many times whispering to me, everything will be all right, and that so many times lied to me. I simply nodded, my hands clenched to the clipboard that I brought from the Office of Human Resources. I was on my way to a meeting in the same building. He too, as I discovered minutes later, when he entered the conference room and introduced himself as the new director of strategy of Braden Corp. My company. Fantastic. The first few days were strange, professional, cordial, but full of attention that couldn't be ignored. He avoided looking at me. I pretended to be too busy to notice it. Until one Thursday, after an exhausting meeting, he approached me at the elevator exit. Can we talk? I looked at him, hesitating. Not here. A cough. Eh? He proposed, pointing to the cafeteria that was on the corner of the building. I nodded, perhaps because my body decided for me. We sat at a table next to the window. The rain was falling as in the old, as romantic movies, and I hated that the universe was so cheesy. I didn't know you worked here, he said. I didn't know that you would be in New York again. Everyone in this industry talks, and someone like you returns. Nathan looked down. You look good. Don't say that. He nodded. Silence, only the sound of the cups in the rain. I failed you, Ava. And there isn't a single day that I don't remember. Yes, you failed me. But it's over, Nathan. You're not part of my life anymore. And I don't intend to go back to that. I didn't give him time to respond. I got up and left. The rain soaked my clothes, and also the memories. Erdos. Flashback. 6 years ago, Nathan and I lived together in a small house near the beach in North Carolina. He was impulsive, brilliant, but incapable of commitment. We had plans, dreams, and an opportunity to move to Europe for his work. But when the time came, he told me he was going alone. That he couldn't drag me into his uncertainty. I cried. He left. And the silence of his only gift. Back to the present, the weeks passed with meetings, shared projects, glances that avoided the obvious, until one Friday night, after a work dinner on a client, I ended up in the same car as Nathan. We had drunk a little. He insisted on driving me. On the way, the silence became unbearable. Why did you return? I asked. Because already I don't want to run anymore. I looked at him. And what does that mean? That if I could go back in time, I wouldn't get on that plane without you. But now I'm here, and I won't leave without fighting for a second opportunity. Dad. I remained silent. When we arrived at my apartment, I said goodbye without giving him an answer. That night I didn't sleep. It pained me to admit that I still loved him, that I had built a stable life, yes, but empty. And that, with him, even chaos was beautiful. On Monday, I decided to do the opposite of what I always did. I invited him to lunch. We met at a small restaurant in Brooklyn. We walked afterwards, across the bridge. We talked about books, about our families, about what we had been. Nathan took my hand, and I didn't let go. Can you forgive me, Ava? I looked at him. I don't know, but I can try. During the following weeks, we tried. We went to museums, to concerts, even to the old bookstore where we used to spend the afternoons. He took me one weekend to a house in the outskirts, with chimney, without a cell phone signal, only us. There he kissed me as if time had not passed, and for the first time, I did not feel fear. But the most difficult test came when Nathan received an offer to move RSE in London, a dream project, like 6 years ago. And now what? I asked him, my heart shrinking. Nathan looked at me, determined. I'm not going if you don't come with me. And if I can't leave, you. Do you stay? Yes. Because this time I don't care about the place, but you. I cried. Not because it hurt, but because I was finally hearing what I had always wanted to hear. 2 months later, I resigned to my work. I joined an international firm that had an office in London. I packed my life. And one autumn afternoon, in a crowded airport, we held hands and boarded a flight without return. No. Today, I read these lines from our house in Notting Hill. Nathan cooks while singing off-key, and I smile like a fool, because I understood that some stories do deserve a second opportunity. Dad, and this time, I'm not going to let him go. End.